What's going on, everyone? So, the Los Angeles Lakers are getting some much needed rest, right? This is huge for the Lakers because Lakers obviously, you got LeBron James, who's older, dealing with some injuries, right? Looked like he re-aggravated that groin injury. Everyone said that that's fine. I'm going to take their word for it. I don't know why I would believe otherwise. LeBron pulled his groin and they said it'd be 2 weeks and they're not worried about it and he's fine and he'll be back. Even when people are like, oh, he might miss 8 weeks or whatever. And everyone was like, he was fine. And guess what? They were right. He was fine. He's going to have now a week to kind of work through what he needs to work through, stretch out what he needs to, do the process and do everything that needs to be done. It's definitely something you want to kind of keep an eye on. He needs to manage, he needs to work out. It's kind of where, it's good that LeBron has kind of settled into that third option role. He's never really going to be the third option, but you see him like, hey, let Luka cook, let Reeves cook, and then he just kind of picks his spots and he goes and gets you his 25 or whatever, right? So that's good for him in his sense. But you have Luka, who's been dealing with little nagging injuries. Austin Reeves has dealt with some little nagging injuries, and in those last back-to-backs, he didn't look gassed in the more recent games, but in those last back-to-backs, you saw him. He looked gassed. He looked a little tired, which I don't really blame him. I mean, the guy's played more minutes than anybody on the team. The guy's playing 40 minutes a night, right? Doing all this craziness, right? And he's just been fantastic. So I get it, right? Even just little role guys, right? Vando kind of gets a rest and, he can kind of gear up and get himself right for whoever, the matchup is and all that. It's good for the Lakers to put themselves in a position, finally, it's been years, right? Years, that the Lakers have finally put themselves in a position to where they get to rest. They don't have to jump into a play-in game and then 2 days later go and play an NBA playoff game. And now you're jumping into a series and you played the extra game and, you had to work twice as hard just to get to the play-in, right? These last few years, Lakers had to win 20 out of 23 games just to make the play-in, not even talking about the playoffs, right? So it's good that the Lakers did what they were supposed to do all season long. Kind of, obviously there were ebbs and flows, right? That's part of a season. You have these great stretches, you have these poor stretches, you have these in-between stretches, you have all these different variables that go into a long season. It's good that the Lakers made sure that they managed the season well enough. Given think of how many different iterations and versions of this team and all that we've matched up and played with and all. It's crazy, right? So I do think that this was huge and much needed. My biggest concern is just the rhythm, right? Luka was having his struggles finding his shot, bad. And he just found it these last, since the Pelicans game, last few games, right? He's now in a rhythm. Austin Reeves has just been unbelievable on a tear. LeBron James starting to find his rhythm. Dorian Finney-Smith has just been, the dude's been shooting the lights out. He's had, a couple games here and there, but for the most part, the dude's been ridiculous for the Lakers, right? You have all these guys that are they're really starting to figure stuff out. They're really starting to get into a rhythm. They're really starting to find their stride. And now you're going to sit them a week. And it's you saw, LeBron sat 2 weeks. It took him a couple games to kind of get back into a rhythm there a little bit. Now, again, it's not something that I'm so Lakers might lose in the first round. It's nothing like that. But you might have a game or two be a little closer than you'd like, right? And that's on top of that, you got to think this is the first playoffs with your head coach. Look, JJ has been unbelievable. He has been ridiculous. I think there's a real argument for him to win Coach of the Year. I don't know if he's going to win it, but I think he deserves it. First playoffs with LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves. Yes, it seems like they've kind of figured out that. But, you also got to keep in mind, regular season and postseason are very different things, right? And Luka's used to, dominating teams and doing the X, Y, and Z, right? So you gotta kind of, in many ways, kind of restructure things a little bit, right? Still keep it the same, but there might be hey, we need to kind of do this a little bit or do this a little bit, little maneuvering to kind of get things where you need it to be. These are all things that you're going to have to find out and figure out. But you're you're going to be able to kind of get some walkthroughs, watch some film of your opponent, right? Get some get some reps, obviously, get some, practices in, little scrimmages, stuff like that. I imagine this coaching staff, especially with JJ, is going to be insanely prepared. One of my biggest confidence about the Lakers is the coaching staff. And I talked about this like numerous times. Like, JJ Redick is a maniac when it comes to stuff. Like, he's going to be prepared, right? So, and he's only going to have to focus on one team at a time, where, it's hard. Like, you have like a day to prepare for this team, and then now you got to go play, the next team, and your preparation is completely different for the next team than it was the previous team. And you kind of go down this list where now he's going to get a week to prepare for the first round opponent. On top of that, then you got to play them up to 7 times. It's going to be hard. I'm telling you, Lakers you're going to have to beat them, right? Like, you're going to have to beat this Lakers team. But I'm very excited for this. I'm really looking forward to obviously the postseason in general. As just a basketball fan, I could not be more pumped and excited. Like, the Western Conference playoffs and even the play-in are going to be like, it's going to be so much fun. Like, I am pumped for that. But at the end of the day, right, like, we care about the Lakers. At the end of the day, we want the Lakers to, be hoisting that Larry O'Brien at the end of the year. And I do think that this rest is very important, very impactful, kind of just will go such a long way. Lakers, this last like 2 months, their schedule has been brutal. Schedule's been insane. They played like, I think 6 back-to-backs or something off the top of my head, right? Like, they had one where they played 3 in an 8-day span. Played 6 games in 8 days. There was like a stretch where they played like 10 games in 15 nights. That's a lot of basketball. It's a lot of that's a lot of just wear and tear that you have to go through. And Lakers didn't really get time off. They had like one stretch where they had like 2 days off. Right? Like, it's tough. It's tough. But now you get to sit, rest. If I'm JJ, I'm telling all the players, like, hey, let me and the coaching staff, we're going to get in the lab. We're going to do start preparing, start gearing everything. You guys got like 2 days to do whatever you want. Lakers are going to be at home. They're going to get to sleep in their own beds. They're going to be, they're going to be home for like 2 weeks, right? Like, or damn near, because they're going to be home this entire time. And then on top of that, you have the first 2 games of the playoffs are in LA. Right? So they didn't have a lot of time at home. So if I'm JJ, I'm telling the guys, like, hey, look, take 2, maybe 3 days, whatever, to just clear your mind. Don't think about basketball. Go be with your family. Go be with your loved ones. Go have a beer, whatever you want, whatever you need. I don't want to hear about it. Don't end up on TMZ, right? Type thing is what I'd be like. Go do your thing, have fun, right? Clear your heads, get right. And then now you have like 5 days to just lock in. You have the game plans ready. You have everything ready. And now it's go time. Everyone get it out? Good? Okay, let's go. Right? Buckle down, lock in. This is it. 16 wins. 16 wins separate us from a Larry O'Brien trophy. Do not botch this, right? Do not mess around. Like, that's kind of where, if I, JJ, that's where I'd be, right? Take a couple days, get right, because you're about to go into a mental and physical war, right? And take your time, clear your head, get everything right. Now it's go time. Let's lock in, let's focus, and let's get this done. All right, that's where I think the Lakers are at. And then boom, just gear up, get ready to throw those punches, get ready to go up 2-0 in the series. Whoever. Each round, whoever you play, whether it's Houston in the second round or, Denver or it's, the Thunder in the third, or whatever, right? However it shapes up, however it plays out, at the end of the day, right, you have to beat the team that's in front of you. And it starts with, in my opinion, this week, right? Because this week off is where you can now start to prep. You can start getting everything you need to in gear, start getting everything you need to in order. You get to sleep in your bed. You're not traveling all over the place. So you get real rest. right? LeBron and his groin injury, definitely a concern, but he doesn't, like, he's not traveling. He's not doing all this stuff. He gets to just be home for a week, getting treatment, getting prep, getting stretched out, getting, all these things. Pause, right? Like, it's very valuable for this Lakers team. Because like I said, Luka and LeBron need to be transcending. Austin Reeves needs to be great. If we get those things, the Lakers are hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy at the end of the year. Lakers are winning the NBA championship at the end of the year. If those happen. Obviously, you need the role guys stuff to play up too. But look, I trust JJ and this coaching staff's preparation. I trust LeBron and Luka. I'm talking about two of the greatest playoff performers ever. Not just for modern time. I'm talking about literally ever. And if Austin Reeves can continue to play the way he's been playing, I don't see anybody beating this team in 7 games. Anybody. I don't see anybody beating this team 4 times. But those are my opinions. Those are my thoughts. As always, pass a question to you. Let me know yours down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. We enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.